GH Group ITA Voyager Japan Open 2014 Yokohama Men's Singles Semi-Final Game 2. The players and umpires come in. 選手審判団の入場です。
And welcome back to the GAC Group 2014 ITTF World Tour Super Series Japan Open from Yokohama, Japan. I'm Adam Bobrow, and we're back for the men's singles semifinals number 2, as both Japanese players will be battling for a spot in the finals. In blue, we have Yuto MURAMATSU of Japan, the chopper with short pips on his backhand. And on the right, in red, the number 2 seed and the top seed left in the tournament, lobbing sensation Jun MIZUTANI, the number 1 player from the Japanese team. And in the main draw, both of these players have only lost 4 games so far, winning 4 matches each. In a pro tour, these two have never played before, so they have no head-to-head record.
2014ジャパンオープン男子シングルス準決勝です。水谷隼選手は今大会昨日インドのアチャンタ選手、シンガポールのセンケン選手をいずれも4対2で下しての準決勝進出です。
So Jun MIZUTANI, the number 2 seed in the tournament, and now the top player left, world rank number 8, 25 years old, beat Ho Kwan Kit of Hong Kong in the round of 64, 4 games to 1. In the round of 32, beat Chinese player Liang Jingkun 4-1 as well. He was the number 21 seed this tournament. In the round of 16, took down Sharat Kamala Chanta from India, 4 games to 0 on the center court. Very exciting match to watch, lots of defense. And in the quarterfinals, beat Zhang Jian of Singapore 4-2. Outstanding points, lots of defense as well. Zhang Jian, the top player in the world, with short pips on the forehand side, much like Matthias Carlsen of Sweden. And speaking of Swedish players, Yuto MURAMATSU, in his very first round of 64, played Swedish Hampus Söderlund. It was a 4-0 victory, but not easy, as Hampus Söderlund beat Chinese player in his opening qualifying matches. In the round of 32, the number 59 seed, Yang Hengwei of Taipei, was taken down by MURAMATSU 4-0. Then in the round of 16, MURAMATSU beat Huang Shengsheng, the lefty from Chinese Taipei, 30th seed in the tournament, one of the best doubles players in the world. And in his quarterfinal match, it was a chopper versus chopper match. He took down Korean Kang Dong-soo, 4 games to 1. And Yuto MURAMATSU was in top form, coming right back into the table to attack forehand and backhand. And even though he has short pips on his backhand for hitting, twiddles the paddle so that he can use his inverted to finish the point. And you see he's a bit taller than Jun MIZUTANI, good wingspan. Both players with strong defense. You can see Jun MIZUTANI's credits, having played the last 2 Olympics, one better than the one before, in 2012 making it to the round of 16, and underperforming a bit at the World Championships singles in 2013. But at the World Teams Championships in Tokyo 6 weeks ago, beat Dmitry Ovcharov, world rank number 4, the only player to ever beat Zhang Jike in the World Championships. So very impressive play from Jun MIZUTANI there. Yuto MURAMATSU has had a bunch of junior championships. Strong playing, 17 years old, world rank number 71, is the 25th seed in this tournament. So to make it to the final 4, already huge accomplishment that's going to bump his rating up quite a bit. Wouldn't be surprised to see the world rankings creep lower and lower. And here's Takako Amano, our head umpire from Japan. Assistant umpire Toshiko Kobayashi, also from Japan. DJ really keeping the energy up in the room. Lots of playing ahead of us today. Would not be surprised if this match goes deep into the game count. And once again, this is their first time facing in a pro tour.
MURAMATSU versus MIZUTANI. First game, MURAMATSU to start.
MURAMATSU with the serve. Love all in the best of 7, game 1.
One love.
Very patient, high spinny balls from MIZUTANI, but he doesn't make the second shot.
Left 2.
And deceptive serve from MURAMATSU to take the point. MIZUTANI down 0-2. Very different attack strategy than we saw in the first point of the game. MIZUTANI putting some pace on the ball now. That chop was as fast and flat as they come, and then he steps right back in for the attack. And he twiddled the paddle, turned it around for the backhand rip over the table. Very offensively threatening game from the defensive player. And the first shots were patient from MIZUTANI, and patience is a virtue against a defensive player. MIZUTANI going for the big shot to finish the point. Very tempting when you're playing a chopper who leaves the ball a little bit high, but it's loaded with spin and not as easy as it looks.
2-5.
This time a floating chop. Looks a little heavier than it is. And he twiddles the paddle, goes for the ripping backhand near the table, swing and a miss. That time he actually did his chop from the forehand with the short pips, twiddled a shot earlier. Jun MIZUTANI, definitely no shortage of practice partners who chop here in Japan. MURAMATSU has a style of his own.
4-6.
And the serve wins MIZUTANI the point outright. Again, MIZUTANI going for the big forehand attack. Spin variation from MURAMATSU. MURAMATSU's maintained his 2-point lead pretty well. Some long laces. Even tied, it looks like he could fit the other foot through the hole there. And the chops are long, low, fast, unlike many other choppers' styles. And we saw the twiddle. The second chop was with the short pip side of the blade.
11-8.
And this time Muramatsu going for the fishing shot from deep. It's a 1-point game as Mizutani trails 7-8. And he comes right back into the table to loop the big forehand, but Mizutani stays planted and brings it back to the open table. Big shot down the line. And you go down the line like that, you're risking the ball's going to come back wide to your forehand, and it's going to be tough to recover.
Eight, 9.
Long serve off the top of the net and out. 3 points in a row for Mizutani. And the heavy chop from the backhand side. Mizutani's got a lot of pressure to keep that ball low because Muramatsu will be right in for the attack, and he knows it. Tied up at 9 points each. Mizutani with the last pair of serves this game.
Nine all.
And even though he leaves the ball a little bit high, Muramatsu with the big attack gets brought right back and then misses the second attack opportunity. Mizutani displaying great defense late in the game. And that ball just too high, too close to the net. Muramatsu was there to capitalize, and it's 10 points each, deuce in game one.
10 all. Dead. 10 all.
The short point for the defender as he short pips it into the net. Game point, Mizutani. And the heavy chop from the forehand side off the inverted rubber. Muramatsu ties it right back up. The spinny forehand, not as spinny as Mizutani thought. Cautious defense. And now Muramatsu has a game point of his own. And an outstanding point. Misdirection on the receive gets Mizutani on the run. Comes back in for the attack. And the underdog, Yuto Muramatsu, takes game one 13-11. Game two just after this break.
Second game, MIZUTANI to serve. Love all.
Game 2, MIZUTANI trailing 0-1.
Love 1.
MIZUTANI overlifting the chop deep to the forehand side. From 2 steps off the table, goes for the counter loop on the forehand side. Interesting shot selection for the defender. Fast long serve with underspin out to the forehand side. Japanese team, Kokiniwa on the far left, eliminated earlier this tournament by a Japanese teammate, Masataka Morizono. And again, going for a counter loop on the forehand side. And there seems to be a hesitation for MURAMATSU to chop on the forehand side this game for some reason. Most of his attacks in game 1 that won him the point were much closer to the table. We've seen him lose a few points with balls played to the forehand side, several of which he's tried to start the top spin rally with Jun MIZUTANI.
Let 2-4.
Heavy chop to the middle. Jun MIZUTANI lifts too much. Slow, patient play from MIZUTANI, almost dropping his paddle after the shot. Have to wonder if that's nerves. Probably didn't expect to be down 0-1 at the start. Outstanding sequence, chop after chop coming back. MIZUTANI able to loop one after another. Moving him around into the middle of the body, wide out to the backhand. And again to the backhand to take the point. MURAMATSU had a bit of a run in the beginning. The last 3 points have gone to MIZUTANI. And the grunting has started, but MURAMATSU takes the point. Humidity creating a bit of wetness on the ball. Soft receive barely coming off the table as MURAMATSU misses the forehand loop. MIZUTANI playing control, very patient play. and that is just a low percentage shot for Muramatsu. MIZUTANI taking Muramatsu out of his comfort zone completely with 6 game points. And the rip of a forehand right into the body, and MIZUTANI takes game 2, 11-4 to tie things up at 1 game each. Game 3 back just after this.
Third game, Muramatsu to serve, love all.
And as we come back for game 3, Muramatsu will have the serve. 1 game each, love all.
Love 1. Let love 1. All.
Ball looks spinny, appears to slide off the rubber of MIZUTANI on the forehand side.
Let 1 all.
And this is the way we've seen Muramatsu winning a lot of points in game 1. Strictly defense, only taking the attack when the ball's up near the table. MIZUTANI tries to leave it short. For example, beautiful backhand. Flips it around to the inverted. Deep chop on the table, left up on the table. The twiddle, and the ball's gone. Look at that snap. Beautiful backhand. Heavy flat chop right into the net after 3 chops before. Similar sequence, this time MIZUTANI with the slower, spinnier loops. Playing patiently against the defense. Final chop, just into the net. Both players even 1 game each, 3 points each. MIZUTANI with the serve.
3-4.
Fast, heavy chop over the table to start off the point and also to finish it. there it is again. That backhand is just detrimental right now. Anytime Jun MIZUTANI touches the ball and leaves it up a little bit. Not very high. MURAMATSU anticipating that shot. Twiddles, gone. And this time with the forehand side. The defender, a common thing for defenders is to hit the ball to win the point. Not to loop many times in a row, but one shot to finish it. So it's a very powerful attack when he hits it.
7-5.
Deceptive underspin played to the middle of the table wins MIZUTANI the point, but still trailing by 2. MURAMATSU now with the serve. And this time the grunting wins the points. The hard attacks from MIZUTANI. We've seen him lose more than he's won going for the big attacks. Although this game it's probably closer to 50-50. And again the offense of MURAMATSU taking the point. And a heavy chop deep to the forehand side. 3-point lead, MURAMATSU looking to go ahead 2-1. MIZUTANI going big with his opening shot, playing to finish the point in 1. Two strong forehand attacks gives 3 game points to MURAMATSU. And that's the one left up on the table. He's right there and waiting with the forehand to hit it to the short side of the table. Yuto MURAMATSU takes game 3, 11-7, and is now up 2-1 in games in this best of 7 semifinals. Game 4 just after this break.
Fourth game, MIZUTANI to serve. Love all.
So MIZUTANI, the favorite in this match, is now trailing 1-2, starting off game 4 with the serve. Placement into the body. MURAMATSU left a little deep, chopping from between the legs, basically. Huge backhand rip again. So fast to come back into the table. One chop and he's already back in with the backhand inverted rubber ready. Twiddled the paddle in a heartbeat. Blink of an eye.
One, two.
Chop going just long. Bit of a stunted forehand chop from in near the elbow. MIZUTANI with a nice start, up 3-1 in game 4. MURAMATSU picked the time to come back in against the slow spinny balls, trying to counter with the forehand. You can see his timing following the flat, deep chop. A little bit lighter than the other chops. Hopes the ball's going to come up a little bit high. MIZUTANI kept the pressure on well.
1-5.
And that receive was just too close to the net. MIZUTANI able to dictate that point. Right down the middle of the table. The chop before last left a little bit high near the net. MIZUTANI able to take advantage of that. MURAMATSU left with an uncomfortable chop down at the legs. And this time from up higher, most of it a side spin on that forehand chop. You can see Shiono on the right there. The chopper who won last year was eliminated in the first round. Bit of a miss hit from MURAMATSU. MIZUTANI maintaining his lead. And the patient, slower shot again. Variation from Jun MIZUTANI, really bothering MURAMATSU right now. Beautiful, clever drop shot after a big forehand rip. MIZUTANI backing up, starting a lobbing point potentially. Looks like he's going to hit it. Last minute shows drop shot. That's the way to do a drop shot. Takes a lot of practice to not show it till the last moment and still keep it short. That's why these players are world-class players.
The 8-4.
And the heavy chop bending into the backhand side gets the point for MURAMATSU. MIZUTANI too deep and wide to the backhand side. MURAMATSU trailing by 4. grunting forehand out wide to the forehand side after a series of off-the-bounce attacks. MIZUTANI staying right next to the table. And one game point of 5 is gone. MIZUTANI still with 4 game points, up 10-6 and the serve. And the backhand ripped on the backhand side goes long, and it's game 4 to MIZUTANI. 11-6 to tie things up at 2 games each. Game 5 coming back just after this.
Fifth game, MURAMATSU to serve, love all.
And MURAMATSU's going to start off game 5. It's been every other game so far as the players are split at 2 games each. Game 5, love all. And the heavy topspin as MIZUTANI grunts and lifts for the slower arcing ball. Little hesitation from MURAMATSU to come back into the table and attack. Outstanding point as MURAMATSU plays the ball from close with the short pips. Switches to the inverted flat shot down the line. There it is, out wide to the forehand, and then a heavy chop takes the point. Ball looks high and juicy and smashable. MIZUTANI overdoes it, and the point goes to MURAMATSU. As the grunts got progressively louder, the patience of MIZUTANI, the focus, leaving MURAMATSU impatient coming in for the attack. Had a little bit less success on the counters against topspin. Coming in for the drop shots, MURAMATSU's been overwhelmingly favorited. Heavy chop to the middle. Good spin variation from Muramatsu to take the point. Two Japan Opens, 2 years in a row, we've had tricky choppers that have been difficult for even the top-seeded players to play. Masato Shiono made a name for himself last year, beating several of the top players, and in the finals, beating Chinese player with unbelievable consistency and spin variation. Muramatsu now showing that he's a bag full of tricks as well. Heavy chop deep into the body. Miss hit off the finger of Muramatsu. Looks like there might have been some issue with his footwork on that ball. And after a big counter from off the table, the rally continues many shots, comes back with a fishing ball from deep near the ground on the forehand side, and then tries for the counter loop again to win the point, just long off the table. The fast, flat chop that goes into the net off the last ball. Muramatsu came running into the table with his paddle twiddled. Took the defensive shot with the short pips to start the rally back up again. And now it's a 3-point lead for Mizutani, 7-4. Heavy, fast, flat chop deep on the table from Muramatsu. That flat, low chop, very different from many other choppers. Contact difficult to read, loaded with spin. You can hear the crack of the bat on the ball. Defensive players, pips players around the world watching right now in fascination, studying not only the equipment, but the strokes of Yuto Muramatsu. Ball left high on the table, but the feet were planted and a little slow from Muramatsu on that one. Miss hit off the top spin shot. Started his swing a little bit early, wasn't in the right position for that ball.
9-5.
And Mizutani securing his lead. Last 2 serve set that he has anyway to win the match outright. Unbelievable point, huge ripping forehands into the body and chop back from near the ground, and it's the wide inside out ball to finish the point. And even with the wingspan of Muramatsu, no chance. Side spinning, fishing shot from Muramatsu near the ground. That would have been the last 2 serves for MIZUTANI had he won the game. Muramatsu now trailing, fighting off 4 game points. Just missing the side of the table. Lob so deep. MIZUTANI able to take away all the power of Muramatsu with the deep lob, but that last one, a little bit closer to the net. Here it is. And Muramatsu steps in and takes the angle. Three game points left for MIZUTANI. 7 serving 10. Fast, flat, not a ton of spin on this one as MIZUTANI overcompensates lifting.
Timeout to MIZUTANI.
MIZUTANI has the timeout. No coach in the corner for this Japanese semifinals. Three game points MIZUTANI has seen go to waste. From 10-5 up. He's played patient, he's played defense. And even after that beautiful shot down the line, it was recovered. A shot around the net, low, side spin hooking back. Not an easy shot for MIZUTANI. Spectacular points and different shots here. In the land of technology, there are about 10 cameras from one angle in the corners of the court. Feels like the timeout continues as MIZUTANI comes back to the table. 2 game points left.
10-8.
And the big forehand attack deep to the backhand side. Jun MIZUTANI takes game 5, 11-8 over MURAMATSU to go up 3-2. Coming back with the 6th game just after this. And as the players come back to the table for game 6, MIZUTANI, after his timeout, is now leading 3 games to 2. final smash. MIZUTANI catches the outside of the ball, bending it away. That ball hooking just out of reach for MURAMATSU. And a huge combination, 3 attacks in a row, a forehand, a backhand, and then a bigger forehand to drive MIZUTANI off the table. It all started from far away. MURAMATSU changing up his tactics a little bit. And this time winning the point on the defense. Outstanding point. MURAMATSU with the forehand loops near the ground, one after another, then going back to defense, twiddling the paddle. Takes a 3-1 lead. And the counter-attack from way back in the court, just wide. MIZUTANI with the smash after an outstanding rally. Steps around, moves it deep to the backhand. And even far on the corner, deep on the table, MIZUTANI able to pick great placement and play it down the forehand line. MURAMATSU extending his lead. He goes up 4-2. MIZUTANI doesn't, but the crowd definitely wants to see a Game 7.
What do?
Floating chop goes just long off the short pips. Outstanding recovery from down low near the ground. MURAMATSU keeping it just on the other side of the net. And MIZUTANI trying to keep it short as well to the other side, not able to do it. Beautiful shot selection. He sees the slow spinny ball, comes in, turns on it, takes the forehand rip to win the point. He's chops pretty close to the table, steps in at the first opportunity like a hawk, always looking for the prey. Little bit of help off the top of the net, and then clips the top of the net going out for a big opportunity to go up 4 points, but instead it's a 2-point game. MURAMATSU should be all over that ball. He knows it. Tricky serve, well placed to the corner of the table. MIZUTANI looking very confused. A lot of moisture in the air, both players trying to stay dry. MIZUTANI recovering an edge ball off the back of the table. And the point before the confusion was that it was a let service, so it was replayed. MURAMATSU with a big point to go up 7-4. And he comes rushing into the table, touching it with the inverted rubber to push it back. Whenever he comes running into the table, he twiddles. And then he has to play the defensive shot with the inverted. No problem, knows his equipment well. MIZUTANI now trailing 4-8 with the serve. Heavy chop to the forehand side. MURAMATSU getting ever closer to game 7. And as he's still backing up, his body's turned sideways and he mishits the forehand chop. I think he was expecting the ball on the other side. And MIZUTANI overhits the ball to the forehand side, and it is 4 game points for Yuto MURAMATSU. And he takes it outright, 11 points to 5. This is going to a 7th and deciding game. Stick around for the excitement. We'll be back in just a minute after this. And we're back at the men's singles semifinals, game 7, where Jun MIZUTANI in red, the top seed left in the tournament, is dead even with Yuto MURAMATSU, short pips chopper from Japan. 17 years old, MURAMATSU. MIZUTANI 25. Only one player's going on to the finals. This game will determine who that player will be. finishing from down between the legs, chopping way off the table. Always on edge, looking for a chance to come back in. And there it is, a big backhand chop, and then the next shot, huge rip with the backhand. Exhausting points, the condition of these players. You can see him panting. Just the first point of game 7. And the defense of MIZUTANI takes down the defensive player. A lot of pressure on MURAMATSU to make great shots. That last ball hooking with top and side spin from MIZUTANI back into the body. MIZUTANI plays short to the forehand side and then wide to the backhand. Smart combination against the chopper. The fishing turns into counter looping as MURAMATSU makes his way back into the table. He's going to call a timeout and regroup. Off to the corner. Well, he'll think about what he can do because he has no coach to talk to. Maybe just to take a break to recover from that first point. Rare to see a player step out of court. MURAMATSU's been winning many points coming back into the table with the backhand attack as he twiddles to the inverted side.
Time.
And as he comes back to the table, MIZUTANI will have to do the same thing, as this is MURAMATSU's timeout. And now there are no timeouts left. No holds barred. Game 7, all or nothing. 1 serving 3. Runs way around the forehand side for the backhand chop, but finds the net. Timeout has not seemed to pay off yet.
That's 1-4.
After the highest drop shot we've seen yet, MIZUTANI comes running into the table. What an outstanding point. So strong defense, deep on the table. That was the high ball. MIZUTANI comes running in for the attack. As the players switch sides, MIZUTANI with a comfortable lead, 5-1. But earlier today, we saw a 7-1 comeback from 1-7, 10 straight points. So nothing's too comfortable here. Grunting shot of MIZUTANI hits the hand of MURAMATSU. And right now MURAMATSU looks at a loss for ideas. sticking to the game plan, playing strong. And the big forehand finisher to the forehand side. MIZUTANI's running away with game 7. Spinny forehand from down low. MURAMATSU gets low, uses the legs, and really loads that ball up. Still a 6-point lead for MIZUTANI, up 8-2. Slower and softer shot from MIZUTANI brings MURAMATSU in, taking a shot from down low. And a huge counter loop from the forehand side, way out wide from MURAMATSU. Pops the ball up and MIZUTANI hits it inside out, hooking back. Beautiful shot. Down by a lot, but nothing's impossible. MURAMATSU, 2 big serves at 3-9. Outstanding point from MURAMATSU. Huge rip out to the backhand and then a drop shot, one after another, keeping MIZUTANI coming back in and then blast it down the forehand line. 1 point closer, still 5 away from being tied. Big forehand early in the point to take it. Last 3 points have gone to MURAMATSU. MIZUTANI with a good opportunity to take control these 2 serves. Water on the table. Definitely not a timeout. Cannot afford to be penalized right now, losing easy points. At the same time, any opportunity for MIZUTANI to regroup himself and try to finish this game,
9-5.
he'll take. The big forehand spin shot from right near the table. MURAMATSU not able to put it down. It is now 5 game and match points for Jun MIZUTANI. What a point. Caught the edge of the table. And Jun MIZUTANI, after spinning around completely, recovering, catches the edge of the table to take the match in a battle royale right here in Yokohama, Japan. 11-5 in Game 7. Jun MIZUTANI, the number 2 seed, will be moving on to play the men's singles finals. What a match. Cannot wait to see the highlights from this. Stick around after our break. We're going to have more exciting finals for you right here live from Yokohama, Japan at the Japan Open.
その前に、和太鼓チアリーグなどのパフォーマンスを予定されております。では今回は全ての試合が終了した後に皆様にご参加いただけるじゃんけん大会を予定しています。そしてその前には表彰式もありますので、試合が終わりましてからも表彰式、そしてじゃんけん大会が続いています。どうぞお楽しみに。この後女子ダブルス決勝戦が2時30分から、男子ダブルス決勝戦が午後3時から、そして女子シングルス決勝が3時30分、そして4時15分から男子シングルス決勝の予定です。戦いました村松優斗選手がコートを後にすることになります。そして水谷隼選手です。